Yo guys, I think we're on. Welcome back to Tim's Trades. I'm fucking tired, boss. I've been up all night, last 2 nights, grinding like an absolute lunatic, trading away, and if you've watched my last few videos, you'll understand that I'm confident, and in fact, I think it's mathematically kind of programmed that a bounce is coming. There's the kind of incredibly poor sentiment, and I understand. I mean, it's grim. The price actions is severely grim, and you can argue, it's suppressed by market makers for a while, but now you've got ETF kind of outflows, so it's kind of putting a lot of pressure. But one thing that I kind of keep reflecting on is that the macro picture. Reserve in the US, banks buying Bitcoin. I'm not convinced the bull market is necessarily done. I'm certainly convinced that it's going to be a number of months before anything happens because all the major mover averages are shifting and you've got setups that are incredibly strong to the downside. But that's okay. I mean, if you go into the Bitcoin chart, I'm sure that many kind of other traders have done exactly the same. So this isn't going to be new content, but that's total one. I was looking at a whole bunch of stuff earlier on today. At the end of the day, we're still going up, right? And so really the invalidation for the bull market, which I said in the last one, is maybe like a weekly close below this 618. That would do it for me. 72,800. In the meantime, we're just making a higher higher low potentially here, and so yeah, it can definitely come and probably will test this area here. And the golden question on my mind, and I'm going to bring you on my wee journey with me, because like the last couple of days I've been building this Bitcoin position gradually buy into the dip, kind of buy a wee bit, and then it bounces, then I sell a wee bit to bring my order lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. But I'm in super fully committed, family, no other income, so I am grinding here like the Donald Trump of grinders. No one grinding harder than me, up all night, every night, checking the prices, watching what's going on, and that's been like that for the last 2 days. So I'm fully committed into the fact that I know a bounce will come at some point because nothing goes down forever. And so yes, I'm going to trade that bounce. It'll give me relief. It'll pay the bills for the next month or two, and then I'll be ready to kind of look for a short a little bit higher up. So that's where I am. That's my trading kind of journey for this kind of short period, and I want to bring you guys on that with me. I think it'll be good content watching me kind of cope with this fully committed position and kind of all in type attitude. I think that's the way. As an ex-elite athlete, it was like, for me, what a big learning curve as a young guy was. I'm heavy, right? I was never going to be an elite road cyclist, so I just thought all I can do is work hard and train harder than everyone else, and I'll win. And I did. I was a multiple champion, and now I'm applying the same kind of methodology to my trading. As long as I grind hard enough and learn and be very careful. And by the way, I've been trading like a lunatic 18 hours a day since the middle of 2022 when I did Eric Crown's course. Now I've got my whole thing going on. I still have his underlying kind of training, but I very much do my own TA, and I've created my own systems for controlling risk and all those types of things. I share it all in my Patreon, by the way, if you're interested, jump in there. These guys are doing well. They're being very careful like me, and they're doing well. We're trading well and trading safely, and every one of those guys is going to actually smash it at the right moment in time. Alrighty, so anyway, enough of that kind of chatter. Short-term thoughts. I am watching, and by the way, I am not an Elliott Wave expert by any means, but I am aware and have spent enough time trading that these little kind of patterns, they give you an insight into where things might be going. So obviously we've had a couple of small bounces. One I was looking for, this one here, I was looking for a little bit higher, and it gave us a good indication we were going to go a little bit higher. It got sold off kind of in no man's land. There was no ideal structure I found that suggested price would sell off here. It was just bearish, right? And so now I'm back to the same point, right? Where are we? Are we going to see, like for example, I was going to get into a small 5-wave move, which we're not seeing at the moment. It's really shitty price action, but it could be something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then an ABC correction, and then this is a very early idea, perhaps that a bottom's kind of in here. We don't have it yet, so we don't have a signal that a bottom's in. And until that happens, then I'm playing my game, right? I'm in a position. I'm still long. I'm hedged a little bit short. Last night I had some alarms set. This flush came and immediately got short, and protected my position. Now I can buy again here, brings my overall entry down again, and then I'm just holding my long, watching, being very, very careful, watching for a flush down. My next level I've got is based on some fib extensions. Now two reach the same point, which is decent confluence, and that's here, 77. Let's call it 77,777 for those angel numbers, right? But just in this area here, we might see another bounce here. There's a million little places here we can see a bounce. Absolute kind of floor is what I just showed you there at kind of that 72k region. Certainly on a daily close. We don't want anything below that. And I would be, honestly, I would be surprised if that happened without, it's kind of unabated, this descent. And I've been through the FTX collapse, and I think there was more bounces on the FTX collapse than we're seeing here, right? So it's coming. There's a bounce definitely coming. What we had here, like 1, 2, 3, this, if you can call it a bounce, but kind of very small, much smaller than you would expect. So, 4 days, 5 days of pretty hard red. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And let's see, so, I feel like perhaps over the weekend, perhaps we get a wee kind of relief rally, and into the middle of next week, that's what I'm looking for, higher low, and then it could possibly be decision time. Maybe it goes higher. I don't expect that, because the higher term time frames are telling me it's going to come lower. So I'll get up here, I'll be taking profits on the way up, and then I'll be looking to enter a short position. Now, that won't be easy either. I don't think there'll be any easy positions. It's not just going to case of go up, enter short, and it's going to come down. Bitcoin can give you all sorts of fuckery. It can overshoot to the upside, or it can just not really get to where you want it to be. Technically it wants to get underneath this cluster of what was support for a long time, ideally, before it sells off hard. It may or may not get there. It can overshoot, and if you're short and get you wrong-sided, it can underperform and just roll over again. So all these scenarios need to be taken into account, and we need to be ready for those. And certainly when a bounce comes, it will come, be taking profit on the way up and secure that cash, and then you can slowly and gingerly begin to enter some short positions. And then if the market continues and breaks above this high and holds above that high, chances are we're back on, and it's going back on. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to roll over again, and it's just a case of when we get the relief bounce, and then when and that rolls over, we'll know as that kind of plays out. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying my videos. If you do, guys, like and subscribe. I am just building a wee bit of a kind of more committed YouTube channel here. Subscribers are kind of creeping up. I realise it's going to take time, and I realise it'll be harder as well as we get into this more bearish period. But I'm doing just TA. I'm not doing anything else, and I feel like this is time that people want some TA. I certainly feel that people need to kind of get a grasp of what's going on, and I can provide you with that. If you've got some like coins you want me to look at, I'm pretty sure that they're wrecked at the minute. Most alts are wrecked, but I can help you kind of ID where support might be and kind of what I feel like might be coming. What I would say is don't sell now, not in this exact moment. If you're holding coins and they're down heavily, just wait for Bitcoin to bounce. That'll give you some more relief. Like if you're selling right now, it's probably not the best place, because it feels like everything's going to bleed to zero, but the chances are Bitcoin will get a bounce. Everything else will get maybe a small bounce at least, and so you'll be able to sell just a slightly bit higher if you're desperate to sell. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm not a financial advisor. It's not what I would do. Anyway, enough of that chat, guys. Peace out, and we'll catch up with you probably tomorrow.